Alrighty. So this is going to be kind of a brief setup video to kind of get started with the project. Now there is going to be three different repositories if you are starting from the very beginning. The first one being the SKG Zombies starter project. As you can assume, especially given that it has the U project, this is basically the starting point. It's a pre-done project and it contains essentially what you see here. So, we have the level, and we have a variety of folders containing things like SKG Zombies, which has, again, some kind of pre-set up stuff. Now, some folders that you won't have, this one, and this one. So these are from the marketplace. However, I'm just using them throughout the tutorial series because I didn't have the audio created yet. But the only thing really missing that I can think of is going to be, I believe, gunshots. But again, the series isn't quite done. I'm doing this and kind of releasing a little bit early. So what you will have, and I've set up most of them to kind of redirect to it, is this audio folder. However, you don't have it from this project here. As you can see, it does not exist. So that's what these links are for. So what you're going to want to do is just right click, create a new folder called audio, then go ahead and download both of these here. So the one from Stemist and the one from me. So we have the two different names. And once they're downloaded, I would recommend naming their folders like so. So the SKG Zombies audio, once you download it, rename it to SKG, and then click and drag into this audio. You should know how to import if you're following this series. And then likewise, the one from Stemist, again, assuming you just download zip and then extract and rename, make sure it's named Stemist underscore zombie underscore SFX hyphen main. And that way, anything that is using these assets should pretty much be fixed up and good to go. So that, for the most part, is the gist of getting started. Now, there is a third repository. However, it is going to be private and Patreon only until pretty much the end of the series. And that's going to be this one here. So this one contains all of the commits from every single video. So for reference, if we go to the commits, you can see each part and their corresponding commit. So if you wanted to go through and have a little bit more of a potentially detailed follow along or something like that, you have the ability to do so. And that would be this project here, which is pretty much the same. It's just a little bit different. So at some point, we ended up going from Lumen and Nanite, which is, well, actually just Lumen. Nanite wasn't really used. It was only used on a handful of meshes until I switched over. So this one being the Nanite and Lumen project, this one being the bake plating project, so the tutorial series. And this is what you're going to end up with at kind of towards the, I think I did this around like video 400, something like that, give or take. And we switch over to forward rendering. And the reason for that is drastically better performance just all across the board. And we get to use MSAA, which looks great. So just a heads up there. So that's what the difference is between the two projects are going to be. So again, SKG Zombies, this one will be a Patreon only until the end anyways. At least that's the plan. That possibly it could change. This one's going to be the tutorial project essentially. Then we have SKG Zombie Starter Project. This one here is going to be the starter project that everybody has access to right from the start. And then two audio projects here. And those go in to the audio folder to have pretty much everything else that you would need. Okay, so I believe that is pretty much everything in terms of actually getting the project set up. So with that out of the way, I will see you in the next video.